we could talk about Jim, but let's talk Mariah. Today I'm going to analyze All I Want for Christmas Is You. I really want to know what the secret sauce in that super successful and a little bit annoying Christmas song is. So without further ado, let's get going. Interesting. This is something that I haven't really paid attention to, that they have got a really cool, tiny, melodic introduction that of course is a little different to what we hear next. Boom is the center of the key. I think we are in the key of G. I think it's this, right? And then? I don't know. But what certainly very, very interesting is that the thing starts with a G major 7 arpeggio upwards. G, B, D, F sharp, and G, and then we go down. Interesting.
I don't want a lot for Christmas.
What is that chord? So we had G, then we had B minor, I believe, then we had C, of course with that bluesy melody.
I don't care about the present.
There is a tiny slip there, right? Really cool that she would recycle that arpeggio motif. Remember that she starts with? Then we have got? And now, look at this. So again, we have got this arpeggio idea in the melody with that cool bluesy slip, and now fourth chord I'm really excited about. What is that?
Underneath the Christmas tree.
Might it be? Now, I think is the chord which would make this an E flat idea, flat 6. Really, really interesting. Something that we would not expect in the G major key. Let's wrap this up for a second. 1, 3 minor, 4, and flat 6 major. Really juicy and interesting chord at the end of this idea. Melody uses cool arpeggiated chord ideas. And of course the lyrics that everybody knows and loves. I don't want a lot for Christmas, there is just one thing I need. I don't care about the presents underneath the Christmas tree. Which will make this an XAXA rhyming pattern, where Christmas and presents, well, maybe they kind of rhyme loosely with each other, but the certain clear rhymes are need and tree.
I just want you for my own. More than
What is going on?
I just want you for my own.
So I need to... We ended with... Underneath the Christmas tree.
I just want you for my own.
I think we start with the 1 chord, but with 5 and bass. But with 5 and bass. Listen to this.
I just want you for my own. More than you.
Cool. So, G, this time with D and bass, with a really cool passing chord, which is B major, the secondary dominant to E minor with the major 3 in bass. This is nerdy and cool. And then we go to the E minor, the 6 minor of the scale.
Make my make my wish come true.
Do they go back then?
Make my wish
They certainly land on this G with D and bass. When they go back, the bass does it do the chromatic movement backwards then? Yes, but I think this time not as the major 3 of the B major chord. I think it's something like this, right? Where we then would have something like a augmented G chord, G augmented.
make my wish come true.
Oh, interesting. Another secondary dominant. We go from G with D and bass to this time 6 major. That of course is the secondary dominant to the 2 minor chord. Maybe with a flat 9. I think so. So 2 minor that then goes to, I think I heard this. And then we, because this is the dominant chord, we resolve to really using that dominant function of the chord and the tension that was built. Wow, this was something. Let's wrap this up if I know how to. G, B minor, C, juicy flat 6, E flat. Then G with D and bass, passing chord that was B with D sharp in bass, E flat, tiny thing backwards, could this be something else? Could also be the flat 6 again, I don't know, it's really a short passing chord only. Then we go back to the G with D and bass, secondary dominant E major, that then goes to a 2 minor, that then goes to a 5, and then goes to... Cool! And a really cool rock and roll thing where we have got 1, 4, and the 5 is... They simplify the progression. Remember that we had something like B flat, or maybe it could have been G with B in bass all along, but certainly we don't have this anymore. But instead we go from the 1 chord directly to the 4 chord. And they don't bring back this. I think this is later. Okay, so they basically now reduce complexity in the melody and they go from the 1 chord to the 4 chord to that flat 6 idea. And now we have got this I just want for my own. I think now they bring this back, right? Really, really cool. Interesting structure, because I think we haven't got a really clear chorus in that song. I think we've got a verse-refrain idea, where basically she develops the storyline in the verses, and we have got 1 line at the end of every verse that is all I want for Christmas is you, and this line serves as a refrain line, so a shortened tiny chorus that wraps up the ideas that were otherwise mentioned in the text. I just want you for my own, more than you can ever know, make my wish come true, all I want for Christmas is you, is the repeating element. In verse number 2, that rock and rolly thing that we just heard, we have got repetitions of the ideas from the intro, but also new ideas. I don't want a lot for Christmas. There is just one thing I need. Don't care about the presents underneath the Christmas tree. This was basically the idea from the intro. Now she continues mentioning stuff she doesn't need. I don't need to hang my stockings there upon the fireplace. Santa Claus won't make me happy with a toy on Christmas Day. And with a very exaggerated pronunciation, you could also find out the cool change between stressed and unstressed syllables, because it's basically a very, very rudimentary right, where we have got this stressed unstressed ending for example stocking, and stressed ending with fireplace, right? Very interesting. We repeat the rhyming pattern XA XA, and then we go back to that let's say is that the chorus? I just want you for my own. I don't know. I would argue that this is second verse half, and this all I want for Christmas is you idea is the refrain tagline. That's new. So after chorus, I don't want to say chorus. After the second refrain, after the second all I want for Christmas is you, they bring another chord progression, and I think it was the doo-wop progression. I think it was the 1 6 minor 4 5, which would make it G, E minor, C, and D. Could also be G, E minor, A minor, and D. Let's find out which one it is. The A minor D. So 1 6 minor 2 minor 5. Verse number 3. Certainly new things that she doesn't need for Christmas. Cool bass movement with a chromatic movement toward the 4th chord. Let's look at lyrics for a second. Oh, I won't ask for much this Christmas. I won't even wish for snow. I'm just gonna keep on waiting underneath the mistletoe. Same rhyming ideas, same metric rhythm. I won't make a list and send it to the North Pole for Saint Nick. I won't even stay awake to hear those magic reindeer click. Why? Post-chorus number 2. I can't say post-chorus if there is no chorus. So let's say interlude after refrain number 2, again with that 1 6 minor 2 minor and 5. I think we go back to that secondary dominant B. The bridge. Something that we would expect in a verse-refrain thing as well. This time we start with the secondary dominant B that goes to E minor, and I think this is basically the core idea of that bridge. Always 3 major to 6 minor. What's the melody? Right? She needs this because this is the characteristic Phrygian major idea behind the secondary dominant B, okay? So this is the idea. Relatively simple, relatively small range, but at the same time with cool ideas. We know this? We know this, but I don't know from where.
And everyone is singing. I hear those sleigh bells ringing.
Ah, we know this from here. And everyone is singing, I hear those sleigh bells ringing. So this is again something that we know from the chord progression in the verse, where we went from that flat 6 to the G with D and bass, and then to that other secondary dominant, the 6 major. And back to verse. Okay, I missed this. Okay, again, staying on that dominant chord for a longer time and adding, I think, 2 bars is a very, very good idea to raise tension. Oh baby, all I want for Christmas is, what is it that you want for Christmas? Tell me, tell me, tell me. And it's 2 additional bars to find out that it's still you. Let's look at verse, what was it, 3 or 4? Lyrics. Oh, I don't want a lot for Christmas, this is all I'm asking for. I just want to see my baby standing right outside my door. So this time she does tell us what she really means when she says, all I want for Christmas is you. Oh, I just want you for my own more than you could ever know. And this is again, of course, the ideas that we already know. I played a C, I shouldn't have, I should have played the A minor, but it's still the doo-wop progression, it's still the G to E minor to A minor to D. This time we play the doo-wop progression for a longer period of time, maybe even until the song ends, where of course now we have got this background harmony, secondary hooks that take turn with Mariah Carey's ad-libby stuff. And a fade out at the end, and this was my, you can't really say live reaction because I know the song, but I haven't really properly analyzed it, so we could say live analysis of Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas Is You. I'm sure we can take away valuable songwriting learnings. Songwriting learning number 1 is of course about this interesting song form that I will still argue is a verse-refrain idea with a bridge in the middle. So I think that All I Want for Christmas Is You at the end of every verse is like the refrain, and the verse, of course, with its content development, stuff she doesn't want, and then in the last verse she gives us the stuff that she does want, is a good idea to integrate in that type of song form that is based on, let's say, folk music, singer-songwriter 60s, 70s music. Something that you can certainly apply in your own songs if you want to develop a story. Songwriting learning number 2, a lyric writing tip. If you establish a metric rhythm, especially like in that case a very classic one, be sure to stick to it, something that they were really, really proficient with. So remember that in verse number 1 we have got, I don't want a lot for Christmas, there is just one thing I need. I don't care about the presents underneath the Christmas tree. And this idea, in terms of metric rhythm, in terms of this change between stressed and unstressed syllables, repeats throughout the verses with different words. And this is something that you should certainly be aware of when writing your own songs. I've seen a lot of beginners to intermediate songwriters forget about the metric rhythm once the second verse appears. And you shouldn't, right? So be aware of what you have established in verse number 1 and bring it back. And songwriting learning number 3 is about that really, really powerful use of dominant and secondary dominant chords in that song. So, of course, we have got that D at the end of every All I Want for Christmas Is You idea, right? All I want for Christmas is, well, what is it? We've got the dominant chord and we expect something exciting and we go to the tonic chord. You right? But also the secondary dominants that she includes, for example, with that, right? B major to E minor, especially juicy with a major 3 in bass. Or also that, right? Where she goes from the E major to the A minor. So she includes the 6 as a major secondary dominant that then goes to the A minor chord. So those are tiny tricks to spice up your chord progressions and to make it jazzy, to make it juicy, to make it cool. And this was my live analysis of Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas Is You. I'm sure we are going to hear this song a lot in the foreseeable future. Now you know how to analyze it and why it's so special. If you liked my video to it, please make sure to give me the thumbs up, to subscribe to the Let's Talk Song channel, and to leave friendly comments. Please also consider becoming a paying member of this channel in order to get early video access or exclusive material. Also visit me on Linktree for further resources, or open those video descriptions under this video here, where I have curated a link list for you if you want to support me further and learn more yourself. I guess we've talked Mariah, you can talk Jim now. Bye bye!